Sorry.
All right, guys, we're going to get into everything that we've mentioned here in the opening in more detail. But first, a word from our sponsors, FanDuel. Hey, NFL fans, can you start the season You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. You'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com/UCSS. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. So, guys, arguably, Watson did play his best game yesterday.
Yeah.
And the Browns offense.
I thought he did.
Yeah.
I
the Browns
the
offense
year,
still
of the
struggled.
year.
Is there any way to fix this?
Well, I think when you look at the offense, there's a couple of things at play here. First of all, G and I were talking about this before the show. We all know how in politics everything's become so extreme.
Yes, black
right?
and white.
The loudest people are the people on the extremes. They're the most annoying people. And the majority of us who are closer to the middle are quieter, and it's unfortunate. And those people on the extremes get in their silos, don't listen to anything out of their silo. You have to agree with everything in their silo, 100%. If you disagree with one part of it, you're out. You're kicked out of the silo. Yeah. And this has become the same thing with football. I go to do my post-game podcast yesterday, and I say, I thought Deshaun Watson played a decent game. It wasn't great. He
was
didn't
decent.
Put the team on his shoulders. I thought he played a pretty decent game. I blame him less than pretty much anybody else on the offense.
Yeah, but I'm glad you said less because no one's without blame.
No one's without blame. But I blame him less.
Okay.
I thought he played a pretty good game, a decent game. My God, he's the worst. You have to bench him. Get him out now. Other side. What are you talking about? That was Houston Deshaun. And both sides are out of their mind.
No, that wasn't even close to Houston Deshaun.
But agreed, Jay. But also, there was an article.
But he wasn't awful.
There was an article in CBS Sports saying they should bench him.
I read it.
That's so
I read
stupid.
it. It was in their overreaction or reality.
Yeah, right.
And they actually said that benching him is a reality. To me, I read that. Jeff Kerr wrote it.
Yeah.
Honest to God, when I was reading it, I go, this guy didn't watch the game.
He didn't watch the game.
He talked about his interception. Are you kidding me, Jeff?
Like, come on, like.
He talked about his interception.
It's so funny that you say that.
Which was an unbelievable throw.
It's funny that you said that because I said on my podcast last night, I said we're going to find out all the frauds tomorrow.
I watched it.
Right?
Yeah.
I said anybody that blames, that says, Watson threw an interception, which technically he did.
Yeah, but that's one of those.
Right.
Come on.
That's one of those where you're like, you didn't watch the game. If you're holding that interception against him, you did not watch the game. We know you're a fraud.
I've got an idea to fix that, by the way, and I know it's going to be subjective and it's controversial.
Yeah.
The wide receiver should be tagged with that interception.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Now, here's how you do it. When you list the wide receivers' numbers, receptions, yards, touchdowns, led to interception, LTI.
Yeah.
What does that mean? That means what we saw yesterday. Now, look, if the guy's jumping,
different story.
I'm not going to put that one on the receiver. The quarterback made a bad throw.
Yeah.
So there is going to be some subjectivity that comes down to it. But that one was 100% black and white. There needs to be a negative stat category on the wide receiver, and it should not count against the quarterback.
Well, think
about it. How have
it.
we not come up with that in this day of stats?
You're 100% right. Think about also, they didn't turn it over here, but on that last drive, on that first down play, when Nick Harris snaps the ball early, that in the stats is a fumble.
Yes.
So
it goes on Watson.
Watson's got a fumble and an interception. Neither one was. Both were 100% not his fault.
Yeah, no.
You mentioned in the beginning, and last week I came out in my blog. I said, listen, hey, I need Deshaun to be special. I need you to be special. The team is not good enough around us to lean on some of these guys up front or the pieces and parts. I say, if it's in there, I don't care if you make mistakes.
Now you wouldn't categorize yesterday as special, would you?
No.
Okay.
Here's what I would categorize yesterday is I thought he played hard. I thought he played competitively. I thought every time they asked him to do something, he put it on himself to say,
Not every time.
But here's the thing.
The 4th and 3, I thought was.
Well, here's the thing. When you go back and watch that play,
I've watched it enough.
Zach Zinner didn't block anybody.
I saw it.
And at some point in time, when you're asking your quarterback time and time again, we'll start with Dawand Jones.
He's terrible.
I'd release him. Well, I swear to God, I'm telling you, everybody thinks that's nuts. I'd release him.
We
got to send a message, Bull.
Well, you got guys that are up front that aren't touching people.
Yeah.
I understand that Deshaun Watson makes a lot of money, but at what point in time we're going to say Dawand Jones makes a lot of money, Amari Cooper makes a lot of money, Nick Harris makes a lot of money, Kevin Stefanski makes a lot of money. What do you want him to do? He didn't touch anybody. There's a wide open receiver, Bull.
Yeah.
And he has to have at least a second to find him. Then, you know, he gets on Dawand Jones. We go in later on in the game.
And I have no problem with him yelling at Dawand Jones.
I loved it. By the way, it's one of the best things I've seen out of Deshaun Watson during his time here.
Yes.
I loved it. Then you get to a point and you say, okay, well, now let's get to the holding penalty. Now, granted, it was a tic-tac holding penalty, but he did grab his jersey.
He grabbed it enough.
And so you're like, listen, that play, if it's allowed, we're talking about Deshaun Watson in a completely different light.
100%.
Because he came back, he got the team where they needed to go, and he threw a big-time play, got hit on the play, and they got an 82-yard touchdown. It's different. Completely different complexion. Yeah. Amari Cooper, again, you have a boneheaded drop, one of the best throws Deshaun Watson has thrown in a Browns uniform. That ball was on time, on target, with zip, right in the numbers. He hit Cedric Tillman in the numbers. He dropped it last week.
Yeah.
And it pops off your shoulder pad. It can't happen.
Guys, do you know what Amari's doing, right? He's quiet quitting.
But he played well last week.
I know he did. But you know what? I have a theory about that. He did just enough to tell all other 31 teams, I'm worth a trade. I'm worth the trade. Guys, he's not in it. I mean, he's not in it.
And it don't make the comments you made like last week where you was being defiant, talking about, well, you guys in the media and it's like, listen, man, like I
didn't talk to the media after last night's loss.
I would, and then on top of that, Deshaun comes back. He's scrambling around, finds another guy for 10 yards. Guess what? He doesn't get set on time. The play's wiped out because you got a legal procedure when you're moving. What are you doing? Like, get to the line of scrimmage and get it done. And then, so to me, I look at it like this. And this is the most disgusting thing that I've heard. I actually had some fans that went as far as to say, well, you know, G. Bush, I mean, they just don't like him. They don't like him, so they're letting him get sacked. I mean, can you blame them? They don't like. Listen, that is the most cowardly thing I've ever heard somebody say, because what you're indicating is that you would rather see the quarterback that is quarterbacking your team get hit and sacked because somehow you believe the players don't like him. No, you're telling on yourself. You don't like him.
Yeah, don't even give that credence.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, let's
give that no oxygen whatsoever. That's ridiculous.
That's the why I'm sitting here saying I can't believe this is where we at in the fandom, where it's like you are excusing people for not doing their job.
Yeah, that's
in order to say
nuts. You're rooting against your own team.
What are you doing?
It doesn't make sense. Yeah. The only beef I had with Deshaun on that fourth down play. And again, he probably wouldn't have completed it anyway. But at the last second, you have to at least throw it up.
Throw the ball.
Yeah.
Just throw. That's my only beef with him.
Throw it straight up in the air towards the end zone.
Just give it a chance. Even if it's a 1% chance.
You can't eat it.
You can't eat it.
You can fumble.
It doesn't matter. You gotta
There's
try to throw
no other outcome.
Yeah.
That ball, when the play ends, cannot be in your hand.
No, but
it needs to be anywhere else, even if it's in the other team's hands.
And